What if they never froze Shin Godzilla? At the end of that very strange but breathtaking movie, at least for a segment of it, it was breathtaking, we saw that they were able to finally defeat the Shin Godzilla from freezing him, sort of. At the end of the movie, what was also very interesting is that you could see some humanoid monstrosities budding from Gojira's tail. Now, I for one was very terrified. Well, terrified's not the word, but it was very freaky seeing those things. And for us to know what might have happened if they didn't stop Shin Godzilla, we would have to explore what these things are on his tail, because they would be very important to the outcome. So, what were these things? Could they have been humans that he killed and absorbed via his rampage? Or more frighteningly, since he sees them as the apex predator, the humans, since they were the very thing that was attacking him, giving him a hard time, is it possible that he tried to evolve to be like them? There are theories that Gojira is based on a prehistoric predator or some shark-like creature. So based on how he functions, it makes sense that he would evolve to be what he thought was most dangerous so that nothing else could mess with him. Even worse yet, he knew that the humans were an immediate threat and possibly the most dangerous creatures imminent. So he spawned some in an attempt to invade their world, or to fight them. It's not like he himself was becoming the creature alone. He actually was budding these things, and if he were to continue rampaging, they would have fallen off as their own organisms. That's what's freaky about it. Imagine one of these creatures, DNA of Godzilla, impervious to most weapons and fire, falling from the sky or the height of Gojira's tail. Think about how terrifying that would be. While Godzilla is big enough to do damage on a large scale, these things would be small enough to get into all the nook and crannies where the humans go, or where they can fit. It's also possible that they'd be intelligent enough to be calculating in how they would hunt the humans. It's easy to hide from a colossus, but how would humans be able to hide from these things? Especially when almost no weapon can stop them. It would be terrifying. And even though there were a lot of casualties in Shin Godzilla, there most certainly would be an extinction event that would take place if these monsters were to bud from off of Godzilla and to roam around. If Shin Godzilla is as dangerous as he is in his form or his ultimate form or what have you, then those creatures would be just as dangerous, just smaller. Not to mention, he would continue evolving into God knows what. Humans would die. There is a chance that if he remained a gigantic creature that we could survive, we could hole up somewhere. But with all these disgusting looking creatures coming from out of his tail or spawning from out of him, there would be just mass panic and everything would just be total chaos. These creatures would lay waste to all humans. They would be super fast, super strong, and you never know, maybe they could shoot lasers out of their mouth too. Maybe they could shoot it out of their mouth and their ass, because, Godzilla has a freaking head on his tail. It comes from everywhere. Godzilla, this atomic breath or atomic laser ray or whatever that is, comes from his mouth, his body, and his tail. So imagine having those things roaming around with their own built-in biological weapons. It would be like the frickin' Mars attack scene. It would be War of the Worlds. If Godzilla himself also were to evolve and keep changing with what he sees to be his best features for being an apex predator, then it makes sense that he would start to spawn creatures that look totally different than the first concept. Creatures that are more dangerous. Creatures that probably don't even look like humans and probably look like other animals that he would encounter on land that are more dangerous than humans. So imagine these xenomorphzilla lion wolf things with tentacles and spider arms that spit lasers from their mouth and from their ass. I would honestly like to see a sequel where they don't defeat Godzilla and we see what happens afterwards when these things come off, and just feature the monsters coming from his tail as one whole other thing. It'd be like Cloverfield a little bit, but I feel like it would be way worse. Anyways, that's our theory. It would just be hell on earth, literally. You thought it was bad when Shin Godzilla was laying waste to these things, but imagine these things were to come to life and they're your size or smaller and they can tear through things. Oh my god. And they would just keep spawning from the thing that you can't even kill. Endless supply of demonic things on earth. That's our theory. Let us know what you guys think in the comments below, and thank you so much for watching. This has been Ultiori. You ask, we answer.